Hey, what's up, Gospel in the Garden? Man, I just finished changing my plant, right? From a small pot to a larger pot. Yeah, I took this pot right here. Now see it? And I put the plant in a larger pot. And the reason why I did that, because in that smaller pot, it wasn't growing right. It basically stunted the plant's growth based on the pot. And that's just interesting in itself because the pot affected its growth. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes with us, we like to stay in the small pot. We want to stay in the pot that does not challenge our growth. We like to stay in our comfort zone. Let's call that small pot our comfort zone. Or let's call that small pot a place that does not challenge me, that place that I've already mastered. You're supposed to be in high school, but yet you choose to stay in middle school because in middle school you know everything, if you get my drift. And so that's what God was telling me for our Gospel in the Garden, that the small pot was restricted. That small pot wasn't challenged. That plant wasn't challenged in that small pot. Therefore, it was restricting its growth. But when I put it in the larger pot, it had room to grow. Because in that small pot, it didn't know everything. In that small pot, it wasn't the master of everything. In that small pot, it was going to challenge it to fill and occupy that larger space. So what I'm saying, in essence, with our Gospel in the Garden, it's time for you to move to that larger pot. Sometimes we're afraid to go to the larger pot because we're afraid of the challenge. We're afraid of that atmosphere is not what I've been always accustomed to. That pot in itself, oh man, I'm not used to that. That's new to me, and it challenges me. It touches the sensitive spots that I don't really want to be touched. And that's the pot you need to be in. It's time to get up out of that small pot, because that small pot restricting your growth. That small pot is the place where you know you've mastered. You ain't no challenging in that. But you keep running from the bigger pot. So what I'm saying for our Gospel in the Garden, it's time for you to change the pot. It's time for you to get in the pot that God has designed for you, that will challenge you, that will test you, that will stretch you. Because in the pot where you're at right now, there ain't no stretching. It's actually restricting. Your comfort zone is restricting you from where God is trying to take you. This is your Gospel in the Garden. Man, get up off that pot.